Good morning. How are you?
Doing fine. Hope you are doing well and coming off the bye week.
Yeah, a little bit unusual to have a bye this early in the season, but it was an opportunity for us to really, work on a lot of fundamentals and also get some of our younger players a lot of good work. And that's something that sometimes as the season goes on, you're so concentrated on getting ready for your game plans and getting ready for Saturday that, some of your younger guys who are running scout team or whatever for you, you don't get them the good quality reps. And that's something that we were able to focus on this week.
All right, Coach. And any injuries that you're able to rest up and have back ready for this week against Wagner?
Well, that's the other thing that's very important about the bye week. Some guys that had some small things, and we came out of the Delaware State game fairly healthy, and some of those guys that had some smaller things, it gave them an extra week to get their treatments and to rehab and to get ready to go. So we should be at full strength here on Saturday when Wagner comes in town.
We're talking to Monmouth head coach Kevin Callahan. We can begin taking questions for him. Please press *1 on your phone at any time, or click the Q&A link near the top of your browser and click raise hand if you joined us via the web. And Coach, can you talk about Wagner, your opponent this Saturday?
I can. Wagner comes into the game 1-1. They opened up the season in week 1 with a fairly impressive victory at Georgetown. They were dominant on the defensive side of the ball and they're very firm, especially in their front seven, and really shut the Georgetown offensive attack down. And offensively, they got their running game going, and their running back, Otis Wright, rushed for over 100 yards in that game. And then last week, they went down and they played an FBS opponent in Florida International. It was a game that, they were hanging in there for a while. And then they had some costly turnovers, kind of some self-inflicted things where they, gave the ball over to Florida International, and they were able to capitalize on it. But they continued to play pretty good defense, and it's a defensive unit that's experienced. It has a lot of upperclassmen, juniors and seniors, and some fifth-year guys on it. And so far, they're playing really well on that side of the ball.
Thanks, Coach. We'll move into questions for you for this morning. Our first questions come in from Joshua Newman of the Asbury Park Press. Go ahead, Josh.
Good morning, Cal. How are you?
Good, Josh. How are you today?
Good, thank you. I know that Dan Sullivan was kind of, he had like a walk boot on with a sprained ankle. Is there any kind of status update on him at this point?
At this point, he'd still be questionable. He's the backup at the middle linebacker position. We're not certain he's going to get back, although he's made a lot of progress, and as I was saying earlier, the bye week really helped him. It'll be a questionable whether or not he'll be ready to go at this point, but, we're still hopeful that, with a couple more days here, he's going to get himself closer and closer to where he needs to be.
And if I could just have a follow-up there, you had mentioned last week that you had some outside linebackers who were seeing reps at middle linebacker with Dan kind of in question. Who's been taking some reps there, and might those guys need some time on Saturday at the middle linebacker?
Well, what we've done is we got a couple of veteran guys in Anthony McDonough and Peyton Minnick, who played all last season for us, and they actually even in preseason and training camp, they were guys that played both outside and inside. So we've certainly got them a little bit more work here during the bye week at that position, and also this week in the event that we would need that.
Josh, you have anything else?
Yeah, let me just get one more in there. Thank you.
Go ahead.
When you look at Wagner, Coach, is it a little difficult to get a gauge just because they played at Georgetown, then they played up against an FBS school on the road? Is it kind of hard to get a gauge given the different levels of opponents that they've seen so far?
Well, Josh, yes and no. I mean, they played Georgetown, and it was a game that they were very impressive in their victory. And then they went down, as I said, and they played at FIU, an FBS team. And, I think that, while they played well in spurts during that game, I think, Florida International had a little bit more speed than they did, and they were able to exploit some things. But what it really comes down to, Josh, is we've played Wagner every year since we've had football, 22 straight years.
Right.
The series is at 11-10 right now. They're 40 minutes away from our campus here, so it's always a very heated rivalry-type game. It is a rivalry. Both teams are going to come to play. Both teams are going to be at their best on Saturday when they take the field. And, the last 4 times that they've come here, they've beaten us. We've won the last 2 games in the series. They've beaten us in West Long Branch here 4 times, the last 4 times they've been here. So, this game means an awful lot to the players in our program. Wagner's a program that we're very familiar with because of the proximity and because of the fact that we've played Coach Hamline's team so many times over the years. So really the records and who they played and who we've played really don't mean all that much as we get set to go here on Saturday.
I appreciate it, Cal.
Thank you.
All right, Josh, thanks very much. And Coach, that's all the questions we have coming in for you this morning, so we'll let you go.
Okay, Mark, I appreciate it, and appreciate everything you guys are doing.
Well, we appreciate you, and best of luck Saturday against Wagner.
Thank you very much.
All right, we'll talk to you next week.
Okay, thank you.